Hey everybody, welcome back to Fish on Adventures. Today we're going to replace our awning on our motorhome. We have a new awning here on the ground from RecPro, and we're going to replace that. And I want to give a quick shout out to RecPro. We had some really bad issues with FedEx getting this here. It took about 5 extra days of shipping, with them saying it was delivered. It was never delivered. But anyway, RecPro took care of the problem. Really good customer service, so a shout out to them. But our old awning, this is our old awning. It's we don't like the color of it. It's really mildewed. The awning's in good condition, but we couldn't get the mildew off with cleaner, so it's time to replace this ugly thing. So we're going to put it on, and I've watched several videos on the mechanical awnings and only one on a motorized or a powered awning. Couldn't find anything, so we're going to put, I'm going to do it the way I think it needs to be done. It may not be the proper way, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, and we hope everything comes out good with this. But the first thing we did is we lowered the awning, we put it out, we left about 1/4 of a turn of awning so we have some play when we take the motor mounts out. But one of the things you want to make sure of is these gas shocks are going to push this awning out if you disconnect it. So I put a ratchet strap on the gas shock on each side to prevent them from coming apart, so it'll hold the frame in position. And we did one on the other end. So the first thing we need to do after we get this done and we get ready to remove this is up on top there. It is a power awning, and it is a power awning, so there's a little plug here. You're just simply going to unplug this, and then we're going to remove the 2 screws here on each side, and the motor and the spring side will come out. Now before we do that, let me show you something real quick. On this end, this has a spring in it to help wind it back up. So I took just an Island head T-handle and run it all the way through to prevent the spring from moving while we remove the 2 ends and set it down. So that's the next thing we need to do, is just remove these 2 screws. We'll remove it off, and then we'll be able to slide the tube out. Okay, we're going to slide this end out. Come up on the ladder and hold that in. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we got this end out. Now let's lower it down. Sawhorse, set on sawhorse. That's good right there. Okay, the next step, we need to remove the rivets, but before we do, we want to mark the first hole where the first rivet we take out, that we can just put a little dot. It doesn't have to be nothing special. Okay, now we need to drill out with a 5/16 drill bit. We need to drill all 3 of the rivets off the cap to remove the motor. Okay, we got all 3 rivets drilled out, and all we need to do is just make sure we remember where you marked your rivet where the motor came out, and the motor just slides right out in the gear. Just set this aside. All right, before we remove, we want to mark where the cap is. We want to mark, this will be the awning. So we'll put an A on this track, and then the valance channel will be right here, so we'll put a V for valance, and that way when we put the new awning on, we know which orientation to put it. Pull on it too. Right, just simply Okay, stop. Come up here. Okay, just get another person to get it started, have another person hold the end of the awning, and we're just going to slide the tube all the way out. All right, the next step is there's going to be a set screw. And there could be one on each end, but this one only has one. So we need to remove this set screw right here. And that set screw is put in there and it holds the awning in place. So once it's out, we should be able to slide the old awning out. Okay, the old awning is gone. So all we need to do now is take the other end and we'll start slowly feeding and carefully feeding the new awning back on. Okay, now we got the new awning, we'll just take it and we'll start feeding it back into the track. Slowly working it up. And when you get past the starting point here, it's going to take two people. You want to make sure you carefully guide this on. Okay, with another third person on the ladder helping you feed it in, we'll just continue to slide it all the way to the end and get it about center, and then we'll put the tube in and we'll center everything in the end. Okay, we got the new awning back in the channel. We've got it centered between the two posts a little bit, and when we get the outside post on it, we'll go up and we'll move it side to side and get it perfect center before we put the screw back on. So now all we need to do is put the tube back into the channel. Okay, we need to look for two marks. We have our awning and our valance. So this first one will be the awning and the next one will be the valance. And we want to start all right. Once it starts on, start sliding, pull it back. All right, once we start it, we'll start feeding it on slowly. Get your helper. There goes the other end. Continue to slide it in. All right, come to the other end and slide it through. Okay, we got the tube through. Now what we need to do is we want to split the difference and make them equal on both ends. Okay, we're going to cut off the extra here. It's not sticking out. Okay, we're going to take our pop rivets and we're going to put the motor cap back where it was. We'll put a pop rivet in and we will set that pop rivet. And we'll do all three this way. Okay, we got all the pop rivets in. One thing you want to make sure before you do this is when you put the motor back in, make sure this bracket has the same direction or orientation as the other bracket that you put the pin in on the spring. So make sure that if you hold it like this, ask your partner, is it pointing out? And it should be the same orientation. So now all we need to do is take the awning and put it back in the bracket location and put the 2 screws in. I'm going to go ahead and just start the screw or the bolt just to make sure that nothing slides or moves on the other side. And we'll come back and tighten that up. Okay, we got both bolts tight again. We just need to hook the wire back up. Okay, now we can release the straps and raise the awning back up, and then we'll remove the thing I put in for to hold the spring in place. Okay, we got the straps off the shocks. We got the awning extended back out, so we want to remove I put a T-handle in there for Allen wrench. And you might need someone to bump it, which I do because it's in a bind. Okay, we got everything done. We pulled the awning all the way in its lowest position so we can take a look at it. And you can see this corner, we need to pull it out just a little bit and stretch it just a little. And that'll get them wrinkles out of the top of the awning, and then we'll put the screw that keeps it from sliding, we'll put it back in place. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. And we'll just put that screw back in. Okay, that's going to complete the awning installation. It took about 45 minutes. It wasn't that difficult, and you will need some help to get the awning on. I promise you, you can't do it by yourself, but there's a lot of videos on how to do it, different techniques. I just come up with my own idea. I really couldn't find nothing on a motorized awning that made sense to me, so what we did worked. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of issues putting it on. It came out nice. So I hope you found the video interesting. I hope you got some good information from the video. And if it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell icon. And I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. So until next time, I'll see you on the water. God bless and fish on.